When this loaf falls open, the interior reveals a perfectly crisp, high-contrast spiral of blue and brown. That pattern is entirely structural. You achieve it by taking distinct sheets of colored dough, stacking them on top of each other, and rolling them into a tight log before baking. To make those layers hold their shape without snapping back or tearing, you have to use an enriched dough. The butter coats the gluten strands, making the dough extensible enough to roll out thin. The sugar ensures the final crumb remains tender, which gives you a clean slice. The visual result acts as a physical receipt. Crisp, distinct rings prove that the baker controlled the dough chemistry, managed the temperatures, and executed the lamination mechanics flawlessly. Step 1 is building a strong gluten network that can support the layers, and the mixing sequence is strictly specific. Combine the bread flour, warm water, milk, and yeast first, leaving the butter out entirely. If you add the butter directly to dry flour, the fat waterproofs the proteins. This permanently blocks the gluten from forming, and the dough will never develop the required strength. Once you have kneaded the initial ingredients into a smooth dough, you introduce the softened butter 1 tablespoon at a time. The dough will break apart and look greasy at first. As you continue mixing, the developing gluten network closes around the fat molecules, pulling the mass back into a cohesive, smooth ball. To confirm the dough has built sufficient elasticity for the rolling process, use the window pane test. You pinch off a small piece of dough and gently stretch it outward between your fingers. It should thin out enough to let light pass through the center, without tearing the membrane. Without that highly developed gluten structure acting as a scaffold, the dough cannot hold tension. The distinct colored layers will simply collapse during the bake, bleeding together into a muddy interior. When making a sourdough version of this bread, you have to compensate for the enrichment by using a strict 17% inoculation rate, meaning the active starter makes up 17% of the total flour weight. This diagram shows why that high inoculation rate is necessary. In enriched dough, butter physically coats the yeast cells, while sugar pulls water away through osmotic pressure. This severely stresses the yeast, cutting carbon dioxide output and slowing fermentation by up to 50%. To counteract this suppression, your starter must be at absolute peak activity when mixing the dough. You test this by dropping a spoonful of starter into water. If it floats, it has maximum aeration and is ready to work. Because of that fat-coated matrix, you also have to adjust your visual cues during bulk fermentation. A lean sourdough expands rapidly and will double in size. An enriched dough traps less air, meaning it will only expand by about 50%. Instead of waiting for massive volume increases, you use the jiggle test. When gently shaken, a properly fermented enriched dough wobbles like set gelatin. Failing to account for butter and sugar by adjusting the starter ratio and expected rise is the most common reason these loaves come out dense and underleavened. Once the dough is fermented and divided, we add the natural colorants: Dutch cocoa for deep brown, matcha for green, beet for red, or butterfly pea flour for blue. Matcha requires precise oven control. If the baking temperature exceeds 350 degrees Fahrenheit, the heat breaks down the chlorophyll, fading the vibrant green into a dull olive brown. This diagram shows how beet and butterfly pea powders react to pH levels. In the acidic environment of a sourdough base, their pigments chemically shift. Beet powder mutates from red to pale orange. Butterfly pea powder shifts from neutral blue to vivid purple. Maintaining visual contrast requires managing the external heat of your oven alongside the internal, invisible, chemical environment of your dough. With the colored dough rested, you shape the portions into 2 perfectly matched 10 by 8 inch rectangles. Warm ambient temperatures will soften the butter in the dough, causing the colors to smear. If your room is above 78 degrees, the dough requires a 15-minute chill in the refrigerator to keep the layers firm. Looking at this schematic, the execution is entirely linear. You simply stack the rectangles directly on top of each other, press down firmly to expel trapped air pockets, and begin rolling tightly from the short end, maintaining steady pressure to prevent the layers from sliding. Once the log is shaped and placed in the pan, putting it into the refrigerator for an 8 to 12 hour cold proof solidifies the butter. This locks the dough in place, creating sharp, defined boundaries between the colored layers. The loaf then bakes at exactly 350 degrees Fahrenheit. This lower temperature ensures the interior crumb cooks completely through before the milk and sugar in the dough cause the exterior crust to burn. Crisp lamination relies on strict thermal management, dictating the physical state of the butter from the rolling pin all the way through the bake. Pulling the bread from the oven is not the final step. The loaf must cool at room temperature for a minimum of 1 full hour to allow the starches to firm up and the internal crumb structure to permanently set. If you slice into the loaf while it is still hot, the knife physically compresses the fragile, unset crumb. This instantly blurs the carefully constructed layers together. The cut slice exposes any technical errors. Smeared, blurred layers indicate poor temperature control during lamination. A gummy, tight interior reveals a sluggish starter that failed to lift the enriched dough. A pristine slice acts as final confirmation. Those crisp, unblurred rings show total control over the physical lamination mechanics, the thermal boundaries, and the chemical balance of the dough.
If this got you thinking about what else is possible in your kitchen, come find us at Crust Crumb Academy on School, the #1 bread baking community on the platform. Tested recipes, real bakers, and a Saturday bake-along that'll change how you think about bread. The link is in the description. Perfection is not required. Progress is. Come bake with us.